back to another. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another tale of my woeful, miserable life. Today, I think I'd talk about something else I've endured in the past few years. Last time I talked about high school. Now I'm going to talk about something else I endured. My past experience dealing with, cults. I've been part of a lot of cults in my life. A lot of cults. You could call them youth groups, you can call them freaking school clubs. I've been part of a lot of cults in my life. Let me tell you, they are downright insane. They are downright convincing with their coffee mugs, their freaking Bible studies, their fucking seminars. All that shit is meant to indoctrinate and brainwash you. I've been part of numerous cults, political, religious, all in all. And let me tell you, they all suck. I hate joining any group or institution that tries and tells me how to live my life. I hate bureaucratism. I hate anything that creates a fucking outlaws and algorithms for how to live your life. Now, granted, I am part of an organized religion. I admit that. I admit I'm Greek Orthodox. I admit I'm part of an organized religion, but at the same time, I really hate creating laws and orders and algorithms and shit. But let's get down right into it. This goes back to my third year of college? Third year of college, yeah. Yeah, third year of college. I joined a group on Madison, downtown area. Um, I joined a group that was helping me deal with my suicidal thoughts at the time because I wasn't living in Madison completely yet. I was doing some home issues, all that nice fun jazz, dealing with voices in my head and all that fun jazz. Well, sooner rather than later, I started going to more and more of their meetings in this youth group, you could call them that. Eventually started getting downright creepy, downright insane. They told me I could make out with chicks. They told me I couldn't do drink, I couldn't do weed, I couldn't do any of these things. They told me all these creepy, insane things. They started, every time we would go down to their basement, they had like this band playing like these mantras, and this really crappy, god fucking retarded songs that I can only imagine were conceived by someone who literally lived in his parents' basement at age 45 and has sex with little boys on the weekends. I'm serious. The music literally sounded like the nightmares of a molested little child. That's literally what it sounded like. It was like a screaming suicide note, just asking for God's grace to kill that kid in the middle of the torment. It was god awful. And these kids would just wave their hands to it. They would sway to it. They would get into the patterns. They would hold up their hands and sing and praise. It was goddamn awful. And then they would ask their cult leader, the great grandfather Eric, the grand wizard, the grand daddy of all white dragons. Yeah, he told them about relationships and he came up with some really offensive stories that would just make anyone with an ounce of sanity put a gun to their head with how stupid it was. I mean, it was like there's retard and then there's choosing to be retarded, okay? There's a distinct difference. We have to acknowledge that. There's being mentally handicapped and retarded, and then there's fucking choosing to be stupid. One is worse than the other, and that's obviously choosing to be stupid. Now, I talked about how my life was with the mental handicap kids, how much that was a living hell. These kids have everything I've ever wanted, my dream school, a significant other in their life, and they waste it. They hold hands and peck. They're afraid of each other's bodies. They're afraid of doing anything modern or millennial-ish. And where's the justice in this world that people who don't... Here's another thing. I met a kid there once who was saying social geopolitical climate. He didn't even know what freaking the word stagnant meant. I've been going to community college for 4 years, and I've known what the word stagnant meant since I was like 12. This guy obviously didn't know it. He didn't even know what religion I was. You know what? It's funny how stupid these people are. It's funny how retarded they are. they choose ignorance, and this isn't just the story itself, it's this general war I have against the forces of ignorance, choosing ignorance over experience, and experiencing life and making your own choices. Is this something that appalls me and makes my dick shrivel in hatred? It's already shriveled enough, but still. These groups are just cultish. I joined them for a time. They believe the world is flat. They believe the world's only 10,000 years old. And not to mention, I think they are Illuminati fanatics. I think they believe in the Illuminati. They believe in the Illuminati for candy. They blame the Illuminati for black people getting more rights. They blame the Illuminati for gay marriage. They blame the Illuminati for women having the choice to go about their own lives, not be controlled by men. They blame feminism on the Illuminati, of course. Great. They blame the Illuminati on kids accepting people of different sexualities. Great. Gotta love these people. They're very open-minded. They blame the Illuminati on 9/11, of course. They blame the Illuminati for welcoming Muslims in our country. Great, good for them. They welcome the Illuminati for... Well, they just freaking think everything that's modern is creation of the Illuminati. So, great. Good for you, retards. So I was down there in this meeting one point, and he was just telling these really stupid stories, like beating around the bush. He was telling like all these like ancient Greek philosophical understandings, the term love, what love was, what a relationship is, what philosophical concepts love looks like, creating like algorithms and arithmetic behind relationships and patterns and all that shit. And I'm like, dude, you're a fucking asshole. But as soon as he mentions you can't make out or do anything physical, I'm like, what the fuck? And as soon as I got out, all the kids started clapping for him. They are fucking retards. And this isn't the first time I've joined a cult. I joined a cult the year prior when I was... I joined this other cult once, the Navigators. They were creepy as fuck, and they wore tinfoil hats. And yeah, they just were creepy as fuck. They stalked me down once. They sent me all sorts of emails online telling me to join their group. They spammed me full of insults in email. So I was saying that one group was Protestant, one group was both non-denominational, one group was Catholic, and I'm like, okay, why the fuck are any of you even here? Are you so desperate for social interaction with people that think like you, that you're in a narcissistic pen being controlled by a bunch of handlers, having your entire life dictated to you and not being told how to live it? Now, once again, I do not blame people for being Christian. I'm Christian myself. But the moment you start forbidding things that aren't forbidden in your holy documents, or start creating scholastic rules or legalisticism, like, that's where you start pissing me off. I hate when people go legalistic. It fucking angers me so much. But anyway, so, it took me a few years. So with the first group, it took me a while to get off their radar. They kept on stalking me and kept on, like, inviting me to their meetings. They would send me emails on the weekend telling me to come hang out with them at this retreat. And I'm like, okay, at least I'm not 12 anymore, so I'm past the age of being raped. Yeah, that was interesting. Never went again. It was creepy as fuck. There's this other group, the one I met in Masson was just plain cultish. They had to ask a high school teacher if it was okay to believe in evolution and be Catholic, which, wow, can't believe I went there. Yeah, look, in general, these groups are just, with one group, they were amassing members, and they were like, they hide down their basement every Thursday and listen to the same music every time. It's played by this band, and there's rhythms to it. There's patterns. I'm pretty sure it's kind of like some sort of like weird brain control thing, where they sing the mantras, they say their codes, they praise their mantras, say their codes, and their demigods and all that shit will bring the magic into their hearts and souls, and they will live a life in conformity with that of Leroy Johnson.
Some
I don't know. That's
creatures
what the
of the
cult was
hive
like. I
strain
have no idea
against the will of
what
orcs.
they even are anymore.
Alakul, the dark one, is
So,
one such.
I think one time
Long ago,
they
he
had snake
fomented
handling. I
rebellion
think they did
against
that
the king
once,
and attempted to
and that
take his
was
mantle.
okay.
Alakul failed, and now
So
awaits the
this group
mercy
is really a
given
cult.
the
They think
chance to
anything
cultivate
pleasurable or sexually
Kaepernick's
intimate or
crown.
physically intimate
We
outside
won't
marriage is a
allow
sin.
another
So,
prince to rise.
huh? Huh? What? How do you know if you even like someone? That's not fun. That's not adult. That's not
Searching
college.
in the depths of a hive prison,
And one time I talked to
I
this
am
one kid
feeding
during a
knowledge
meeting. I
from a
said, "Hey, you guys
lurking
watch Game of
ghost.
Thrones?" This
It will
kid who
lead
had
to
to
a
be like
cell
18 years old, 2 years younger than me at the time, I think, said, "Aren't you worried about impure images?" He was quivering like a child. And I'm like, dude. Of course, I once had the same thing about Game of Thrones myself, but it's quickly become over the past year and a half to be my favorite show on television. Maybe second only to Magicians and Rick and Morty. Those are my top three: Rick and Morty, Magicians, and Game of Thrones. Um, when I'm not playing ESO, I'm watching Game of Thrones with my roommates. That was our kind of thing this past year. But no, he quivered at the mention of Game of Thrones. I let that table, and then I sat down next to this girl, and she said, "Hey, what's your name?" "Cassie." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, Cassie. You do weed?" She said, "That's a sin." And she was dressed. Well, and here's an aforementioned here. Most of these kids dress like it's the fucking 50s. They wear sundresses. They wear like freaking Amish clothing, and even during the summer, you can see them like with 2 layers of dress on. It's just what? And they slut shame anyone who dresses like a modern day millennial, especially in the summer. They're a bunch of cunts. They're a bunch of cunts. They're a bunch of thunder cunts who scream louder than their mothers after their eighth failed coat hanger abortion in Down Street behind the 7-Eleven right next to Quick Trip. Gotta get that Gatorade to make the bleeding go away. So these people, they have a dress code. If you don't dress like them or think like them, they're gonna try and assimilate you for torture and indoctrination. They're pretty much the Borg or the Killik from Star Wars. Also the Killik, because the Killik are the space like beetle people, the bug people from Star Wars, the expanding universe, well, whatever. These people are a hive mind. As soon as you start joining their events, they'll start assimilating you. They'll start influencing you the way you act, and pretty soon you're becoming just like them. I broke free when I still could. I'm fine for it. Like literally, they think most of them when I mention, hey, I watch Game of Thrones or I watch Rick and Morty, they just stare at me and they're like, how can you watch such smut? Dude, you're 20 years old and you're afraid of watching Game of Thrones or Rick and Morty. What the fuck? What the actual sloppy, brown, delicious fuck is your issue? Um, so they assimilate people. They do. They anything that's mature and intelligent, they destroy and they hide from. Makes sense because their worldview and ethos is
Sense
so
powerful
fragile
incantation.
and so dependent on
Carve runes hold
control
the
and
bar
outside
door
influence
shut.
from other people
My
that they
scan
would
says that
collapse if
you've
they ever
used the
changed.
post.
Makes
You should
sense.
hack them and open the door.
Um, yeah, but I realized from this classic this past semester that a lot of it's probably blame on their parents for assimilating them and keeping them cooped up and putting them away from the rest of the world for their whole lives. So I get it. Your homeschool, your Catholic school, your Lutheran high school, whatever. You're gonna be a disadvantage compared to someone who went to public school, whatever. Um, most of them have never played video games. Most of the girls there are submissive and don't talk back to men. It's great. It's a real inspiration for any college student who's trying to be alive in their faith, but at the same time be an adult. It's a great place to go to for that. Not kidding. Never go there. Grandfather Eric and his Grand Council wizards will assimilate you and use their black magic on you. Get my advice, never go to St. Paul's. Never go there. Just in general, they act... This is a threat that's not even just in a local area. All over the country and throughout the Western world, Christians who are losing members to modern-day society, or Islam, or common sense. Like, once again, I admit this. I'm Christian, okay? I'm Greek Orthodox. Used to be Roman Catholic till I left. You can blame the Jesus freaks for that, but still. I completely understand you want to practice your faith and it rewards you, you feel uplifted. I feel the same way. I do. It's an uplifting, beautiful faith. Probably the most beautiful religion on the planet. Because you really have a relationship with your God. I'm all for that. Great. 100% behind that. Great. But I'm not behind it when you start telling college students to hold hands and peck and date like 12-year-olds. Or tell them what shows to watch. Or tell them who to vote for. And yes, that did happen. To me, especially. When you start doing that and you start having this brain control mentality, and then you're trying to create your churches and your temples and your synagogues, and you're trying to turn them into freaking bunkers and keep people locked up in there to keep them keep them locked up and away from the outside world from its influences, you lost the point I think your religion was founded upon. And that's just the Judeo-Christian God is not nearly as stupid as any of you make him out to be. And this has not been turned into religion. This is a threat, I think, as college students and as Christians, we need to accept, is have a personal relationship with your faith. Live it out the best you can. If you're making out or fooling around, great, good for you. You're not doing anything wrong. And if you're having sex, it's your choice. Look, when it comes to like relationships with others, whether it be romantic or friendships or whatever, don't let a religion dictate how you go about your relationships, or judge you, or shame you, or make you shame your friends and family, or the people you make love with. Don't let them shame you. Don't let them insult you. Don't let them conform you. Don't let them make you push people away. And don't let them decide the rules of how you go about your relationships and your love affairs with others. That's all I'm going to say. Well, peace out, folks. Till the next time, stay sane.
Is getting weaker. Let's get to the other battery.